Thanks, Amy. Go ahead.
Welcome everyone to the funding and financing workshop. My name is Amy. I'm the Office and Communications Administrator here at the Small Business Center. For those of you who don't know what the Small Business Center does, we're a small business support center. We help with business counseling. We'll help you write a business plan. We organize workshops like this. And lots of other stuff, which Luke will probably touch on. I think that, so one thing that I wanted to talk about was the EAF grant that I am currently running. It is the Enabling Accessibility Fund, and it is a grant of up to $12,000 to help make your facilities more accessible. There's a workplace stream which supports current and future employees, as well as a public stream which helps members of the public access your facilities. If you're interested in applying or finding out if you're eligible, I'll be hosting a informational workshop online on October 3rd at 10 a.m. I'll send you everyone in attendance the link to that, as well as you can just email me if you have any questions. Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks, Amy. So good morning, everyone. Luke Fournier here from the Small Business Center. I work with Amy, have the pleasure of doing so. I just want to touch on that EAF grant that she's outlined again, because it's so underrated. A lot of people don't realize that there's a lot of work that can be done with that grant. It's very powerful, and we've got this mandate to make everything accessible, or to keep our public accessible, so that we can continue to serve our clients in the best way possible. So if you have any questions about EAF, I would encourage you to reach out to Amy right away. What's the deadline?
November 1st.
November 1st, coming up quick, so don't hesitate to reach out to her. So I just want to touch base on the recording again. So we are recording. If anybody wants that recording from today, we'll share it. It will be available on our YouTube channel here in the next week or so, but we're happy to share it as well. So the reason I'm here today is I want to touch base real quick on one of the grants that you're going to be eligible for. Unfortunately, the timing is a little bit tight, but or a little bit off, I should say. The Starter Company Plus grant is a grant that we facilitate here in this office, and I'd like to highlight it because it's one of the most general eligible type grants. We will be opening it up again in May of 2025. So if you know anybody who might be eligible, if you're out there as a business owner listening, please reach out so we can get you the information you need. But earmark your calendar, May 2025. It's valued at $5,000, or up to, I should say, $5,000. And so with that, I want to leave it to the presenters that are here. We're done speaking on behalf of the Small Business Center. We got a lot of great opportunities for you, and I know you're here to listen to them. So I'll turn it back over to Amy. Thank you.
I would like to welcome Eileen Brown up from Trenval.
Hello, everybody. I'm Eileen Brown. I'm a business and loans advisor from Trenval Community Futures. I'm very pleased to be here. We have a great group of people that are going to be talking about their programs. We all kind of collaborate and work together, and to help all you entrepreneurs at any stage. So just to jump in, just to give you a little bit of a background. When you start the presentation, go ahead.
We're just admitting one more person. Thanks for your patience.
All right, no problem. So Community Futures is here in Trenval. We've been around. We're in our 36th year. I myself in my 9th. What is Community Futures? For those of you who do not know, it is a national program that is coast to coast, typically serving rural areas. There's 267 of us across Canada that are helping entrepreneurs on all levels. Moving on, if we focus on Ontario, here it gives you an idea of the provinces. In Ontario, there's 61, 24 in the north, 37 in the south. Moving down from that, the area that I'm in, and some people here today will be presenting as 15 in the Eastern Ontario corridor, helping entrepreneurship. So as you can see, And so what do we do? So we work alongside other organizations such as Small Business Center to offer counseling and loans or financing and supports for all stages of business. So whether it's startup, expansion, or succession, just really does whatever level you're at, come in and we'll help you get connected to those who can help you. We'll help you get the money that you need. So we also do some strategic planning on local projects. We work with other members, other financiers on big projects. So really any kind of economic development in the area, we are there to help. We are also all, I have to say, funded by FedDev, and we will have a representative today to talk to you about what they can do for you as well.
Sorry, I need
That's okay.
one moment. Go.
All right, so again, our mandate is around, economy and jobs, obviously, that help the area. Again, we do new business expansions. We are a catalyst in the community that binds other programs together and to promote economic development in our region. So just to give you an idea, just a couple of stats to throw at you. Just from a Canadian perspective, there's about 1,386 staff. That's probably larger than that now, but these are from, I think, last year. 267 CFOs, volunteers. Most of us are run by a board. So we have business members that come in that sit on our boards and our committees. And so they're volunteers that are very dedicated to their community. So we really have to mention that as well. So that we serve around 114 billion in population that is served through these resources. We've done overall about 270 million in loans, which has been leveraged with 554 million in matching dollars, which has created about 19,000 plus jobs. And also we are involved in CED, which is community economic development in the nonprofit area. I think you jumped ahead.
Did I skip one?
That's all right. The last one that's
Can't keep up with that, Eileen. Eh? I am previous. Here we go. There's a little lag in this mouse. It's perfect.
It's given it some challenges, right? So I think this is the one. Oh, this is us. So Trenval, just to give you an idea, a small but mighty group. There's 4 of us here. We have 8 partners though. So in our facility that we work alongside of, again, our board is made up of 12 volunteers. The population that our catchment serves is around just under 100,000. To date, year to date, we've done over 965 loans, which has been an impact of 45 million, a leverage of 72 million, over 5,000 jobs just in our region alone, and also an additional 70 million in community economic development dollars. All right, so this just gives you an idea of the area that we serve: Belleville, Quinte West, Sterling, Rawdon, Tyne Township, Deseronto, and Mohawk Bay of Quinte. But anyone that is unsure, please reach out and we will help get you connected to where you need to get some assistance. So again, this just gives you an idea of the kind of services that we offer. As a CFDC, we can go up to 300,000. It's very flexible financing. Again, it's a case by case. We also help handhold the entrepreneur through the process with counseling and matching them up with other partner referrals. Again, we're here to empower the entrepreneurial ecosystem. We also have a program called Mentor Connect Quinte. This is a free program. You can do now if you wish, and you can sign up. It actually has an app. And what is it? It's a program that helps to connect mentors to mentees. So if you're looking as an entrepreneur for some assistance, or if you're in a position where you want to help another entrepreneur with their growth, you are certainly welcome to join in on this and grow that community. So we're here to help each other, and it's free. There are no costs to this program. So again, CFDCs throughout Canada and Ontario, we do up to 300,000. It's flexible. We serve all sectors. We have very flexible rates. Some rates have preferred interest rates depending on what the program is. Typically, we base it on Bank of Canada, plus depending on, again, the circumstance. And we don't compete with the banks. We work alongside of the banks, but sometimes the fit, that's kind of what directs the financing. So when you come to me or any of the people here, we're gonna try to figure out what is the best fit for you as the entrepreneur. And ourselves, have, like I said before, we have a group of volunteers, which is our board, and we have an investment committee that reviews our loans. So this just gives you a snapshot of some of our collaborative financing partners that you will be hearing from today. So I won't go into each one of them, but it just kind of gives you an idea that we work alongside traditional and non-traditional lenders at all levels and at all, we're open to any kind of collaborative opportunity. And so what does that look like? So there are sometimes projects where an entrepreneur maybe needs more money than just one lender can provide. So again, this just kind of gives you an idea. There's some special agreements that we can come up with, special ways to collaborate between each other. We've done collaborations with other CFDCs, with programs like Sophie, who will come up and speak with BDC and with other financiers. So we, again, like I was mentioning before, this just kind of gives you an idea. So if you get a copy of the presentation, you can have a look. And if you have any questions, please reach out. So what are the benefits? Okay, so we also work alongside municipalities. I don't think I talked a lot about that, but we do have some special programs with municipalities for helping with some of the delivery of their programs like revitalization and like downtown facade programs. We've had some MOUs with some of the municipalities to do an automatic financing on any kind of project that business owner has got approved through the municipality. And if you're thinking, what is that? Again, reach out and we can kind of run you through what that kind of looks like. So again, just one other element that we help community to thrive. So I won't speak a lot about this because we have somebody here from Sophie, but I have to mention it. So their focus is on innovation and scaling. And again, Michelle and others will be up later to talk a little bit more about that. And again, this just gives you some stats. So when you have this, I'm not sure if mine are quite up to date, but she'll kind of go through that. And it's a program that has been developed, I think, was it 2012? Yes. Okay. And right. So, and it's really doing well and they've expanded it. So if you have a scaling opportunity, then there's somebody that you would want to look into. And just a few more. And they've developed another program. Again, she'll talk a bit more about it, which is the real component. So at first they started off, it was more high end, and now they're really going into the community at all levels. And we do have somebody today from FedDev, so they're going to talk about some of the things that they have to offer. I just had to put this in here. It's a link. If you're not sure about what kind of programs are out there, it's always good to go to some of the resources from the Canadian or Ontario level and see what kind of programs are out there that your business can be assisted through. So again, this is just kind of an idea. This would be the FedDev website. Just you'd want to Google it and find out kind of what do they do, how can they assess, how do you apply, when, and how it works. And if you do have questions, because sometimes it can be kind of daunting, don't be afraid to reach out to us and we can assist you in any way that we can. Again, that just kind of gives you an idea of kind of what they're looking for. Usually FedDev does look for people who are incorporated and have certain minimums of operation and a minimum of employees. And this just gives you an idea of some resources. I won't really get into all the details, so you can check it out, so I don't take too much of your time. And this gives you an idea of where we're located. We're at the business center here, and these are some of our in-house partners that we have here. as you met the Small Business Center, you will speak to someone from BDC. We also work alongside of the Bay of Queen Economic Development and the Manufacturing Resource Center, along with Loyalist College, who we are located at. So again, such a great opportunity to work with other partners that can help your business to grow. And that it gives you again another idea of other partnerships that we have throughout the community and municipalities that we can all work together to make it a better place for everyone. I think that's pretty much it for me. Again, collaboration's the key. I think I've said it over and over. You've probably heard me say that word many times, but it really is important because I think that just thinking that you're all alone is not good. So when you come to us, we're not afraid to make you connected to all of the different partners that is needed for your particular business. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Eileen.
Thank you, Eileen. Again, Eileen is from Trendval. If her contact information is on the previous slide, so if you're interested in, if you have any questions, please reach out to her. Next, I would like to call on Lauren Morton from BDC.
Good morning, everyone. I am Lauren Morton, an account manager at BBC. I'm one of the 3 employees that works here out of this office in Belleville. The other employees are Amelia Campbell, our senior account manager, and in this room as well, Derek Morgan, our manager of major accounts. So who is BDC? What do we do? Well, we are a Crown corporation serving all across Canada, and we're actually celebrating our 80th anniversary this Monday. So we've been in the market for quite some time, and we have a lot of knowledge and skills in our field. So when you think of BDC, what do you think of? You hear the word bank. Well, we're not your typical bank. We offer 2 fields that we can help clients with. The first being our financing and our loans section, and the other that's a little less well known, but still just as important, and that's our advisory services. So when you hear the word bank, you're probably thinking lines of credit, credit cards, bank accounts. That's not what we do. We work with our clients to help them fund projects and provide long-term debt. So we don't offer out the whole package, that's your charter bank. We focus in on the term debt. And we help clients with projects like buying equipment, purchasing a new building, maybe building your own building. I've worked with clients to help them with working capital and even purchase and brand an existing business, but they're brand new to it. So we help clients with a bunch of different projects. And the cool part about us is we're flexible. Our goal is to help the entrepreneurs succeed. So sometimes our terms will offer things like principal postponement for a year, so that your business can get underway, get your feet on the ground, get some cash flow coming in before you start making these big payments. As Eileen had mentioned, we love working with partners in our area. So often, if a client comes in with a large project, we might rely on our partners like Trendval or the other local CFTC, Sophie, a bunch of different partners in the community to get the job done. Because at the end of the day, what we care about is having our entrepreneurs succeed and grow their business, because we like to see you succeed. We enjoy watching you grow and expand just as much as you do. So now that's our loans. Has anyone ever heard of our advisory services? I'm gonna pick up the 2 that are in the room. Sorry, online people, but have you guys ever heard of us and our advisory services?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what do you think of when you think of them?
You're gonna coach somebody to get to where the picture and things from where.
So we recognize that entrepreneurs often, you feel alone at times. Sometimes you're sitting there looking at your business and you go, I really need help. I need help on my financial management. Or maybe you know where you want to be in a year, but you don't know the steps that you need to take to get there. And that's why we offer our advisory services. They're designed to help you. And as you mentioned, they're coaching. So it's a paid for service. roughly for our small and medium clients, it's in between 7,500 to 15,000. The price varies depending on what you're looking for. And we focus in on top areas like marketing and advertising, financial management, operations management. My personal favorite, finance. I'm biased, I'm a CPA, so, and it seems to be the area that a lot of entrepreneurs want to learn more about, but are maybe a little afraid to ask. Other areas include HR management and strategic planning. So what happens? What is this magic nugget? Well, you come to us, you discuss your problems. We find the area that we think would help you the most, and we set up what's called a mandate. And this is our project that you're going to be working on. And we match you with either an internal BDC employee or an external consultant. And we specifically match you with people who are interested in that area, know your industry, so they have a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience to share with you. And the goal isn't to have them just do all of the work, give you a nice presentation and leave. They sit down with you, they work with you one-on-one, and they get you involved. You're doing most of the heavy lifting. Because at the end, when the consultant isn't there anymore, we want to make sure that you have the skills and the knowledge to continue on confidently. We'd all like to think that financing and giving all of the money in the world will solve all of our problems. But from BDC's standpoint, when we look at entrepreneurs, we think that your knowledge and your skill set on how you understand your company and your operations is just as important as the financing. So that is my high level overview of what BDC has to offer. If any of you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. As I mentioned, I'm here myself today in person, as well as my colleague, Derek Morgan. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Lauren. Next is Victoria Watts from Paro Center for Women's Enterprise.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for attending today. My name is Victoria Watts and I am an entrepreneur. I'm a woman of many hats. I'm an entrepreneur in the community of the City of Belleville. I'm the business growth and retention specialist for the City of Belleville. And I also work as a business growth and advisor for Paro Center for Women's Enterprise. And today I am talking about the services that we offer through Paro. So, Paro was founded in 1995. They were founded in Thunder Bay and are very well entrenched in women's entrepreneurship in Thunder Bay. Over the years, they have really grown, especially through COVID, throughout Ontario, and have now become an organization that is national in scope. And their whole modus operandi is to empower female entrepreneurship across the country. Their mission is focused on 3 program pillars: growing female companies, providing growth opportunities, and expanding entrepreneurship into export markets. We offer a number of different supports for women, from ideation to established businesses. Here's a list of a number of the programs and services that we offer: business coaching and mentorship. We offer biz camps. We have some online training resources through Go Forth. We offer peer mentoring, networking circles, and peer-to-peer lending, networking opportunities, Wednesday webinars, and resources and support to find grants and other sources of funding. I'm just going to go over some of the key services that we offer. So I was hired during COVID for as a business growth and advisor. And when you sign up through Paro, which is not a cost to you, you will be assigned either a business growth advisor or a business counselor. Our business counselors are mostly located at the head office in Thunder Bay and are full-time. whereas our business growth advisors work on average between 3.5 days per month to maybe 5 throughout the month. All of the BGAs, so I was hired as a BGA, are entrepreneurs. So they often have their own businesses and have experienced much of the entrepreneurial journey. And they're also, or they have also worked in the area of entrepreneurship. And they're from all different industries. So my particular business is focused in food. I do have a number of food entrepreneurs in my business, but I work with women in all different kinds of industries. A lot of what we do is we work on, basically we're an objective. I feel like it's a lot of my work with entrepreneurs is really about talking through different challenges in their business. We've heard it here today that being an entrepreneur is really, you can't do it. It's a lonely journey and you can't do it alone. You need people. And I think as entrepreneurs, we have blinders on. So as a BGA, I always say that I'm way better. I also have a BGA myself, but I'm way better in coaching and advising other people on their businesses and guiding them through the entrepreneurial journey than I am on my own. So I use this, that's how I got hooked into Peril, was I had my own BGA and I use this service throughout my entrepreneurial journey. So we can meet with clients on a weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly basis. It's really up to you. Sometimes I meet clients quarterly, sometimes it's once a year. It really depends on the issues that come up. And really my goal is to meet the entrepreneur where they're at. So it might be women who are just starting off in business or thinking about business. It might be women who are having challenges in scaling up. But I am meeting as BGAs, we're meeting the entrepreneurs where they're at. And my whole goal every time I meet a client is to just give them some kind of nugget or something or resource that can just move them forward. The other thing I just wanted to say, when you're hooked in with when you're with a BGA, you have the benefit of being networked in. So each of us bring our own networks. And if it's something, an issue that maybe I can't, I have no experience with or not an expert in at all, I reach out to my networks within the Peril circle and I get resources coming in. So that is the advantage of being a part of the Peril community. Wednesday webinars, we have a number of webinars that happen every Wednesday on many different topics. They're also hosted in French and English. Another service that we offer are Peril business camps, and we have a number of business camps. So when you sign up for Peril, if you go into, you have your own portal, they will talk about all of these business camps that happen. We have business camps that are for businesses just starting up, businesses who maybe have sales around the 50,000 mark and want to scale up to 200,000. And then we have business camps that deal with women businesses that are moving from the 250 mark and want to get beyond 1 million. And as you can see, there's just a number of different types of business camps that we offer. So Investor Ready, the Foodpreneur Camp is an excellent one for entrepreneurs in that space. In the commercial packaged goods space, we have a Trade Accelerator program. And I'm not going to talk about it in depth here, but Peril does sponsor and work with women to do a couple of large-scale trade missions throughout the year. And that is an excellent program to get you prepared for those trade missions. We also have some, in the north, we also have some Indigenous programming that work with the specific needs of the Indigenous population in that area. And we also have a green, working with partnerships at BioEnterprise on green economy businesses. A very large and long-standing program through Peril was our Prosper Circles, and they're peer lending circles. So the whole idea around peer lending circles is that kind of recognizing that historically women have had difficulty accessing capital to move their business forward. So we have worked with partners to establish these prosper circles where women come together in groups of 4 to 7 women, and where they support each other, connect, network with each other, and gain confidence and share their experiences. But the advantage of being part of a circle is that you can access up to $11,000 worth of funding. This money does not come to you all at once. It's basically staged. The first 2 stages, as you can see on the screen, have a non-repayable portion and a loan portion. So non-repayable or grant portion, so you're eligible for $1,000, $500 is what you need to pay back. Once you pay that back, you can move on to the second stage, which is $2,000. Half of that is non-repayable and half of that is a loan. Once that is paid off, you can go on to the third stage, which is $3,000, pay it off, go on to the fourth stage. Once you're at the fourth stage, you can reapply for the $5,000. These are open and you can pay them off in a shorter period of time. I think there's a waiting period of 3 months, but it's just a way to access small little bits of money to move your business forward. So one of the newest programs that Carol has been involved in is the We Are the Loan Program, which is the Women's Enterprise Organization of Canada loan program. This is a loan program that is national and it is distributed through WEOC, but through their local partners in every province. And Carol is the partner in Ontario for this loan program. Go to the next slide here. So with this program supports women with a loan of up to $50,000. Carol works with each woman on a one-to-one basis to prepare them through the process. So we are hand-holding women, working with women with, establishing their finances, making sure that they have the best possible ability to access this loan. The whole key to the WEOC loan program is accessibility. So they want to make it as accessible as possible for all women. You can access this loan as a startup or as a scale-up business, and it's for all industries and all sectors that are eligible. Women must own 51% of the business to be eligible for a WEOC loan, and you must be 19 years of age, a Canadian citizen, the same as most of the loan programs, and you have to reside in Canada. One key thing with the WEOC loan is that there's a wide range of eligible expenses under the loan program. So sometimes in loan programs, there's things that they don't want a loan for, but under this program, there is a lot of flexibility under what expenses can be, what the loan can be used for. Interest rates are based on prime plus, up to 4%. And it really depends on the type of business that you're looking at or that you're involved in, and whether or not you're going to be using any security. They never use a house as security. So it's often things like they will use your cars, they will use your any equipment that you might have. There's a whole list of things that they might look at for security. So the next. And I think that's really it. I did want to tell you about one loan program or grant program that we do have. It's called Biz Growth. And it is a program for women who are specifically wanting to grow into new markets. It's perfect for women wanting to go to trade shows or businesses that require larger equipment. How it works is you get a maximum of You spend a maximum of $5,000 and you get $2,500 back, so it's a 50-50 split. And that's the last program. So there's all of our information here. Please feel free to reach out to me. Perro's website is there. Up in that right-hand corner is My Perro Path. You can log in, it's free. If you are interested in meeting with me to learn more, you can, when you are signing up, you can put my name down and I will get a notification. And that is it. Thank you.
No.
Thank you, Victoria. Victoria's contact information is listed on the previous slide. If you are interested in accessing any of Perro's services or would like to reach out if you had any questions or anything, please feel free to do so. Next, we're going to be turning it over to Kim Botry from Delia. She is joining us online right now. Sure.
Good morning. Did you want me to share my screen or?
We do have your presentation loaded on here. But whatever is easier for you.
Okay, well, I'm not sure you'll know when to move them, but I could put my hand up if that would help.
Okay.
Okay.
We're just gonna try to get you on the screen there.
Who's that, Kim?
It's Kim.
Well, good morning, everybody. While we're waiting for the slide to come up, I can start talking to you about Delia. So I'm actually from what was formerly known as Northumberland Community Futures Development Corporation. So we're basically part of our core business is exactly the same as what Trenval is, except we serve Northumberland County. We've recently rebranded our name, actually last week. Our name is now Enventure. And we rebranded because the CFDC program is a core part of our business, but we have so many other programs that we run that the name wasn't serving us well anymore. And as you can see from Trenval, they did this a long time ago. It doesn't say it's Trenval Community Futures, but they go by Trenval, which is a name that encompasses a lot of different business. So that's one of the reasons that we rebranded.
Kim, we've made you a co-host. If you'd like to share your screen, you're more than welcome to at this point.
Okay, thank you. I will do that. Or I'll try to do that. Can you see my screen at all?
We cannot.
No, okay.
So as a co-host, you have the capacity to share in the bottom tab of your Zoom screen. There should be a big green button that says share.
Okay, I'll go down and check it out. I'm just gonna get the presentation back up because of course
Okay.
it, all right. I see, big green share button. And we'll go slideshow. And now you can see it.
Yes, we can.
Okay.
It's not sharing the slideshow. There you go. Yeah. Now we have it.
Now you got it. Great. Thank you for your patience. So I explained a little bit about where I'm coming from, and that's now Enventure. I'm here just to talk about the Delia program, although as Eileen said, we all work in partnership on different deals in the area. So this particular program is Canada-wide, and it's funded by Innovation, Science and Economic Development Canada, but it was actually originally started by FedDev Ontario, give us the initial money for the pilot. So it's been a group thing from the beginning. So we can service clients all over Canada. And if you are a woman entrepreneur and you need funds in excess of what our microloans are, obviously we're going to send you to Trenval. So let's get started here. About Delia. It's a women entrepreneurship loan capitalized by ISED Canada, which I mentioned. It's part of the Women's Entrepreneurship Loan Fund. So the WEOC loan that Pero just spoke about, they're funded out of the same Women's Entrepreneurship Loan Fund. Everybody has taken a different approach with their funds. Of the 5 organizations that got the money, we concentrate on linking entrepreneurs up with partners and getting them capital ASAP. So we run our loan program, Delia, as a microloan program. So we can go up to 50, but the majority of our loans are between 15 and 25,000. That's kind of the sweet spot that we found that the clients we deal with like. It's an evergreen fund, so everything that gets paid back goes back into the fund to be churned out again to other women entrepreneurs. I will mention that we're closing in on $5 million going out, so pretty soon it will be 5 million. We're getting close before the end of the year. We work with startups, businesses at any stage. So how can you be eligible for this? Well, we want you to be a for-profit business, no not-for-profits. 50% plus women ownership. You can be located anywhere in Canada. You have to be 19 years of age, Canadian citizen or permanent resident, and residing in Canada. So basic eligibility for anywhere. Maximum business revenues of 2 million of your gross annual sales, basically. So once you hit 2 million, you're not really eligible for this program. Really, the whole purpose of this program is to get money into the hands of underfunded women entrepreneurs that traditionally haven't been able to access capital. So these are higher risk loans, and they are concentrating on smaller businesses. The majority of the loans we're doing are for startups, and some are for expansion, some are for stabilization. Really, the funds can be used for just about anything, except for buying real estate and to give the owners an income. So it's very open. We see all different industries coming in, and it's not, based on the industry. We don't, discourage anybody from applying. So, suitability. So we're going to look at a viable business plan that the owner has appropriate skill set and some experience. And obviously, we're very inclusive of any underserved or underrepresented groups. We are a solutions-oriented team, so it's not just AI and credit scores. We look at the whole picture. We listen to the entrepreneur's story, and we also do a lot of referrals to other agencies in their area that can support them with other things that maybe they need. We obviously have lots of partners that can help, like EDC. So we try to do as much as we can to support that business, but we are not here just to counsel. Delia is really about getting the money in their hands as quickly as possible so they can move forward. And it's not just, I think I might start a business. They have to have a good plan. They have to have realistic cash flows, and we will work with them on that. But other than that, it's about turning that capital out so it can come back and go back out again. We heard a lot of frustration from women entrepreneurs that, sometimes they just need the money. They know what they're doing. And so we are relying on the fact that these women know what they're doing. And we just want to get them the money as soon as possible. So the maximum loan's 50. Very few have gone out at 50 simply because that's not what the entrepreneur wanted. A standard 2-year term, so it's repaid really quickly. And we do risk ratings, prime +2, prime +4%. It runs on average at around 3%. If it's a brand new business, it's up at 4. So the only security we take on these is a general security agreement, and for incorporated companies, a personal guarantee. So there's no actual collateral on these loans. We do assign their insurance policy so that if anything happens, we can, be paid. And so it's non-dilutive money for those businesses that are just getting started or maybe looking for seed financing down the road. And there's no prepayment charges, so the loan can be paid off at any time and they can save the interest. So to apply, it's really easy. You go on our website, hit apply now. It takes you to a secure fintech application platform. You enter your information, upload your documents, and then it comes directly to us and we evaluate the application. We try to keep it as simple as possible, available 24/7, so that we can get the money out. Anybody that wants to apply, we suggest you just review. There's an online guideline for applying that is very in-depth. Review all the required documents, get your information together, do your application. It says it takes half an hour to complete. I highly doubt it would take a full half an hour to complete the application, but on the outside, if you're not tech savvy, and if you aren't tech savvy, you can email us and we'll send you a paper application, a PDF application to fill out. It's not a problem. So basic normal requirements. We want for startups, a business plan, resume, financial forecasting. And for anybody applying, obviously, if you have an existing business, financial statements and personal identification and articles of incorporation are absolutely required for everybody. We reach out immediately to let people know that we have their application. Basically, it's standard closing process. All the documents are signed digitally using DocuSign, and funds are deposited by electronic deposit into the account, the same one that we will take payments from. So I'm trying to stay within my 10 minutes, but I'm really happy to answer any questions if anybody has any. It's a wonderful program. I got to meet a lot of entrepreneurs in Ontario and across Canada. The stories are wild, of how tenacious women can be when they want to start businesses. So we've funded everything from new technology to an African restaurant in the Yukon. So that part of it is really fun, and we love hearing from the entrepreneurs. So if there's something that you're starting up or you have an existing business and you just need a little bit of money over a short term, or if you have a client that needs just a little bit of money over a shorter term, that's a female entrepreneur, then we're happy to help. And I will stop sharing now. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. Next, I think we're gonna hear from Michelle Cathers from Sophie. She is here with her program coordinator, Molly.
Good morning, everyone. I am Michelle Cathers, and I am the program manager for the SOPI program in Eastern Ontario. Molly Galvin is our program coordinator who is here alongside me this morning. And I am here to talk about the SOPI program. So more specifically, because we're in the Belleville area, I'm going to tailor this presentation to the rural initiative that we have under our SOPI program, and our connection with the Community Futures offices is we are from the Community Futures Eastern Ontario office. So we are a network office that assists the 15 CFDCs in Eastern Ontario, and we also deliver the SOPI program for Eastern Ontario. So I always like to start with some impact stats. The program is 12 years old now, and over the last 12 years, we have been able to invest over $60 million into the business community in Eastern Ontario, assisting 120 businesses through loans. And the really incredible piece is those 120 companies have gone along and raised an additional $140 million in match funding for their businesses in the ecosystem, and they have created almost 5,000 jobs. So pretty incredible stats when you're talking specifically innovation in Eastern Ontario. So as Eileen mentioned earlier, we are a niche program, so we only focus on innovation. So when we talk about innovation, we are looking at new products and services that are not yet seen in the marketplace, new processes that are being developed, new technologies, access to new markets. So for us, we really want to see those cool new things. A lot of our clients have been on Dragon's Den, so that kind of gives you the idea of the flavor of what we're looking for. But we really truly are looking for those new things, those mind-blowing ideas that are happening all across Eastern Ontario currently. So as I mentioned, we started in 2012. We received our initial investment funding from FedDev Ontario. So a quick little plug for FedDev again. Our office received $30 million. So if you're trying to do the math, we have turned the fund twice already in the last 12 years. We are a self-sustaining program, so all of the money that we generated from interest revenue and repayment of principal dollars goes back into the fund to lend to other people. And right now, the stat needs to be updated on our slide. We're actually a $40 million program under our office. So, and what we provide is loan funding for high growth, innovative scale companies. So we do not assist startups. That is what the Community Futures program is for, and we will lean on our partners to make sure that we're kind of connecting the dots for those clients that don't quite qualify for our program yet. But we do focus on businesses that are looking for capital to grow. So what do we offer? We offer loans between $150,000 and $500,000. We can go up to $1 million on exception basis. Our interest rates are comparable with other collaboration partners like BDC and CFTCs. It is based on prime rate, but we offer them as fixed rates. So right now you're seeing the numbers 12 to 16%, but that gets adjusted as prime goes up and down. We are flexible patient capital, so we can do amortization periods up to 10 years. Our loans are open and penalty free to be paid back at any time. So it's a good source of capital for those companies who need to invest in their businesses to grow. And then once they've achieved those revenue results, they are able to give us, repay their loan, and then we can use that funding to assist another business. We don't charge any application fees, so there's no additional cost to the clients other than the interest rate that is charged on the loan. And a little bit different than some of the other programs, because we're looking at scale-up companies. We don't have large collateral requirements. So the collateral is a GSA, General Security Agreement, and promissory note against the business only. We don't actually take any personal guarantees or personal assets as collateral. And we work well with others. So it's important to note that we will work with the CFTC always. We will work with BDC, all the other, programs that you're hearing about today. We work with all of them, and we all kind of help to connect and make sure that you're accessing as many of the programs that that you're eligible for. Part of our SOPI Rural Initiative, we have decided that things look a little bit different in rural areas than they do in urban centers where majority of our funding goes. So we've launched the SOPI Rural Initiative a couple of years ago, softened or flexed a little bit on some of our eligibility criteria. So we can help rural businesses with a little bit lower interest rates and longer amortization periods to assist them in the repayment structure of their loan. So this is my catchment area. It's all of Eastern Ontario, including Toronto, the GTA, Ottawa, and the Kingston areas. But it's important to note that we also work with all of the Community Futures offices, so we're here in Trenval today. But the SOPI program and the SOPI Rural Initiative is available across Eastern Ontario. So what does a client look like? I always find that it's easiest to talk about examples. So while you're reading the information on the screen, I will talk about the pictures that you can see. So the first one at the top is Cabinscape. So they have created a luxury off-grid cabin rental that is completely out in the wilderness. There's no one to be heard and seen around. And the entire cabin is environmentally friendly. So they can go in to a site. To give you an example, they have some cabins in the Haliburton Forest. It's completely solar powered. Their gray water system leaves no environmental impact. So when they decide to move the cabins to another site, the environment is left the way it is, completely untouched and kind of back to the wilderness that it was. The second picture in the middle is Entomo Farms, based out of Norwood, Ontario. They grow or create crickets. So they manufacture cricket powder for food manufacturers. And the last one on the bottom of the screen is Fire Rain. They're based out of Napanee, Ontario, and they have created a eco-friendly fire retardant gel. And a cool story with Fire Rain, they were able to spread their eco gel on the train rail lines in Jasper during the forest fires. And because they were able to protect those train lines, the train services were back up and running within 24 to 48 hours after the fires went through. So really cool examples of innovation that is happening in Eastern Ontario. We can only assist for-profit corporations. We are looking for a management team that has the experience and the ability to scale. As I mentioned earlier, we don't fund startups, so we are looking for companies that are generating revenues. Matching funding is a requirement for our business, so it is important that our clients are working with the other funders in the room to have that match funding component. And we do have a growth target of reaching 50 people. So we are looking for those larger companies with larger aspirations, which are, selling globally and really trying to make an impact. So this slide talks about eligibility criteria, and there's a little bit of a difference between the urban criteria and the rural criteria. So first and foremost, there must be innovation happening within the business model and the products and services that they offer. And again, when we think innovation, we think cool, wow, new things, mind-blowing things that you've never heard of before. To be eligible for our SOPI Rural Initiative, you must be located in a CFDC catchment area. So if your business is Belleville-based or Quinte-based, you would then qualify for the Rural Initiative. The urban-based businesses is Toronto, Ottawa, Kingston area. The big differences are under the annual revenues and the matched funding eligibility criteria. Again, we understand that businesses in rural areas grow differently than they do in urban centers. So we've lowered the annual revenue target to $100,000 from the $500,000 that is required for an urban-based business. And the matching fund component can be 50% of the loan request. So to give you an idea of that and how that works in a rural area, if you're accessing the full amount of $500,000 to the SOPI program, you can work with one of our partner organizations like BDC or Community Futures to only have to access or to find another $250,000 worth of funding. So it's a little bit easier to, meet those eligibility criteria. And the job creation target, again, we understand things work differently in rural areas. So the job creation target is over a longer period of time. So I just put this in there as a quick slide so you can see how our programs work together. We at SOPI are a stepping stone program. So we are not meant to be with the client forever. We want the client to be able to use all of the resources that are available out there to them, including pointing clients who are not yet working with the CFDC back to the CFDC office to be able to access all of the services that are available there. And then for those innovative clients that fit within our eligibility criteria, the loan purpose is really to help them grow. So we provide working capital to, expand their businesses, whatever they particularly need. And then the goal is that they can then hopefully qualify for the larger programs, including the programming that's available from FedDev directly. So again, plug for our clients. I've talked about a few of them on the screen, but these are all logos of businesses that are located in rural areas of Eastern Ontario. So there is innovation happening in rural areas. It's not just in the urban centers. And there's some really cool things happening, kind of behind the scenes that no one really talks about yet. But I highly recommend, if you're interested in learning more about any of these companies, check out their websites to see the type of innovation that is happening in Eastern Ontario. And we wouldn't be as successful a program as we are without our referral partners. So like the messaging from everyone else in the room this morning, there are no wrong doors. We all work together. We all know, the eligibility and fit with all of the programming is there. So we refer clients and we make connections for all of them to be able to access all of the programming and options that's out there. So we work locally with our CFDC offices quite a bit. BDC is another great partner of ours, as well as the accelerator offices and incubator programs in Eastern Ontario. So it's a really great network of partners. We're all working with the same goal to help our clients and our entrepreneurs succeed. And that is all I have for this morning. So if anyone doesn't have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. You don't have to, reach out to me directly. It can be through the Small Business Center. It can be through Trendval. It can be through BDC. We all know how to reach each other. So thank you for your attention this morning.
Thank you, Michelle. Next, we're gonna turn it back over to our friends online, Samuel Fortier from Futurepreneur. I don't know, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yes,
All good.
see you though.
Samuel, do you want us to do the presentation for you, or would you like to do it on your own?
I actually don't have a presentation, so I'm just gonna.
We'll leave it right there.
Yeah, we'll keep it simple. So thanks for inviting me to this forum, Amy and Luke from the Small Business Center. My name's Sam Fortier. I'm a senior business development manager at Futurepreneur. My region is Eastern Ontario, so the 401 corridor from about Port Hope all the way to the Quebec border, and then Ottawa, and Deep River and that region as well. So I'll just tell you a little bit about Futurepreneur. Futurepreneur is an organization that's existed for over 25 years now, and with a mission of helping young entrepreneurs launch businesses. So the way that we do that is both through financing and mentorship. Over the years, we've helped over 15,000 businesses launch across Canada. And we continue to help businesses launch every day. Recently, we've actually had some major changes to our program offering. So until recently, we were geared exclusively at businesses that have not been operating for more than a year. And now we could offer financing and mentorship to businesses that are a little bit more established, but are still less than 2 years of operations. On top of that, the maximum loan amount that we were previously able to offer was $60,000. and now it's up to 75,000 in collaboration with our partners at the BDC. So we do have a few different programs. The first program I'll talk about is our core startup program. And that program includes financing and mentorship. The loan amount, as I mentioned, is up to 75,000, but it's anywhere from 5 to 75,000. And it's a loan that's paid back over 5 years. The first year is interest only payments, and then starting in the second year, you start paying off the principal. So all of our loans are also collateral free loans. So we do not take any security against the loan. And then with the loan, we do match you with a mentor for 2 years. We have a variety of different types of mentors depending on what you think would be most helpful to you. So some people prefer having somebody who's run a similar type of business and had success and who they can kind of bounce ideas off of. Or other people prefer having somebody who specialize in a certain discipline like marketing or sales or something like that, and who can help them get more comfortable with the specific aspect of the business. In order to apply for Futurepreneur or the core program, we do ask for a business plan and cash flow forecast, a 2-year cash flow forecast. And we do have tools available. I know a lot of our partners use our business plan writer tool online as well. And that's free to use to anybody, regardless of if you're applying for our programs or not. So yeah, that's kind of the core startup program. We also have a side hustle program, which is geared at people who are wanting to start a side hustle or have an existing side hustle and need a little bit of cash to kind of get going or expand a little bit. Again, it's a loan for the side hustle. Now it's up to $25,000. You could have been in business. It doesn't matter how long you've been in business for this program, but we do ask for proof of full-time income if you're applying for the side hustle program. And again, the side hustle program comes with that same mentorship piece. And in order to apply, we ask for not a full business plan. We have another document called the business brief, which is a shorter form of a business plan. And we also ask for the cash flow forecast for 2 years. Other than that, we do also have a ton of free resources for people wanting to launch businesses. I invite you all to visit our website and take a look at the resources section. There's a ton of resources, including mock business plans for specific types of businesses. For example, there's one for a restaurant type business or construction business and whatnot. So you can use that kind of as a basis for starting your business plan and kind of modify it how you need to. And then we also have a webinar series called Rock My Business, which helps you create a business plan and cash flow forecast. Or if you're a bit earlier on, there's one on ideation and kind of figuring out your business idea and exactly what you want to do. So that's also free to anybody who wants to participate, and regardless of if you're applying to our programs or not. And I'll share my email address in the chat. So if anybody wants to get in touch afterwards, happy to chat. And I'll stick around for questions once we're done. But yeah, that's all I have for now. Back to Amy.
Thank you, Sam. I'm glad you mentioned the business plan writer tool. We usually tend to turn most of our clients to that resource, so that was really good. Last but not least, we're gonna hear from Anne Marie Keller Byers from FedDev.
That's great. And if you wouldn't mind letting me share my screen, I'd appreciate that. That way I can just move the slides if that's okay with everyone.
Absolutely. Give me one moment. Okay, Anne Marie, you should have capacity to share your screen at this point.
Okay. Is everybody able to see that now?
We see it here.
Perfect. Okay, that's great. Well, again, thank you to everyone for coming today and for inviting me. I sure appreciate it. I'm going to tell you a little bit about FedDev Ontario funding for businesses. FedDev actually supports businesses, usually small to medium enterprises, but we also support organizations that support businesses. So I think you've heard from some people today about the CFDCs, the SOFI program, the DELIA program that was initially given seed funding through FedDev as well. So we do a number of those initiatives, but today I'm just going to go over a little bit about the programs that businesses can actually apply for. So FedDev was created back in the last recession around 2008. We see ourselves as having a number of key roles across Southern Ontario. We like to convene and bring people together. We like to be a co-investor. We do a lot of funding projects with MedCat, so the Ministry of Economic Development, Job Creation and Trade, and also NRC, so IRAP, those different programs. We like to be a pathfinder. So I know everybody talked today about there not being a wrong door. We completely try to follow that as well. If we don't have a program that we feel that you are a fit with, we'll try to find one that will fit for your business. So we do have a number of resources that we can refer you to if we don't think that you're a fit for FedDev programming at this point. We also like to champion different industries across the province as well. FedDev Ontario covers all of Southern Ontario, so all the way from Windsor to the Quebec border. My personal territory, I'm located out of the Peterborough office, but I cover from Kawartha Lakes all the way down to Kingston and Frontenac County. So I deal with the stakeholders there, and I offer outreach services. So if you have a company or if you're looking to find out some more information, I'm more than happy to meet with you to discuss what the programming is. We can even put lots of different government people in the room if we think there's a number of resources that might be helpful to your business. So with our business stream application process, that's what we call it, we want to make strategic investments in scaling and established companies that are looking to grow, expand, diversify. It could be commercializing a new product or adopting or adapting to new technologies. We're definitely looking to increase the competitive advantage in a global marketplace. So we love first-in-kind projects and projects that will really put Southern Ontario on the map globally and increase exports. The other factor that we look at as well is we want to enhance the resilience of communities across Southern Ontario as well. So if you're in a rural community, which we consider Quinte to be, sometimes we have a little bit of leeway in how we look at those projects because we know how important they are to a rural economy. Last fall, we did a little bit of switching things around in how we do business. We switched to what they call the timed intakes. So it used to be that you could apply to our programs online at any time. But now what we've done is, again, we've switched to timed intakes. We do 3 annuals. We usually have a fall, winter, and spring. We got a little bit behind last year, so our last intake closed on June 24th, and we expect another one to open up later this fall. So we have 2 simplified streams now instead of lots of different confusing program names. Now we have for-profit and not-for-profit, and that's how you apply to us. We lowered our minimum project size last fall as well. So now we can fund projects from 125,000 all the way up to 10 million. A typical project for FedDev is around 2 to 3 million, but it doesn't mean that there aren't different things that can happen that we would fund a larger project. Typically, we fund up to 50% match, and that's Usually, I would say though, the average approval would be around 30 to 40% of the total project cost. But again, the idea was to simplify this. It was to speed up our approval processes as well. So now when we have a timed intake, it usually is open for anywhere from 30 to 40 days. And then we start the process of looking through all the applications and identifying the successful ones. So we're attempting to speed those things up because again, they do take time, but a lot of the projects do require some due diligence. So we like to make sure that there's time to do that process as well. So in terms of our funding terms, I mentioned our minimum project size is 125. We go back up to about 10 million. Again, we have to have 50% of the total funding, and it has to be provided from other sources. It can be other government funding. So if you were to get a grant from the province or a loan from the CFDC, that could also apply, whether it be a SOFI loan as well. We don't like to exceed 75% of the eligible project costs. So keep that in mind as well. The other thing we look for in our projects is incrementality. And basically what I mean by that is we want to look at new activity for your business. So we can't replace operating costs or duplicate support that's already being provided from other sources, including other government programs. So we definitely look at that as well. The project time frame, generally we look to fund projects that are 1 to 3 years in duration, again, depending on the nature. And again, very important thing from FedDev is all of our contributions to businesses are interest-free, but they're fully repayable. So they are a loan at 0% interest. We don't take any terms on that, so it doesn't show up on your balance sheet. We're very flexible in terms of our repayment options. We can do terms of up to 10 years, and the payments usually start 1 year after your project is completed. So if your project wrapped up in March 31st, 2025, your payments would start March 31st, 2026. So they have that flexibility there as well. So we do have a number of intake priorities that we do look at, and these have been identified by the government. So of course, no surprise to anyone, clean economic growth. So projects that support the greening of the economy. So that could be clean technology. It could be reducing your carbon footprint through technology adoption. Any of those type of activities are certainly a priority. So growth, obviously, projects that accelerate innovation-led growth. So we're always looking at projects that will help the company scale, validate their technologies with early adopters. And again, job creation is very important to us as well as increasing market opportunities. Again, technology, we all know there's workforce issues across the province right now, across Canada. So if you have a project that is going to let you adopt digitization or AI equipment, that type of thing, those projects are certainly looked upon favorably as well, especially when they're upskilling your current employees to be able to operate that technology. Another one that we look at, which is very important for the rural areas, is the industrial transition side. So we recognize that we do have a number of companies across rural Ontario, that have, are single sector in their communities or the main employer. So if we're looking to help them adopt equipment, to bring them up to the next level or to grow their business or help alleviate their workforce issues, that's certainly looked upon favorably as well. We also have a couple other cross-cutting priorities, zero emission vehicles. And by that, I don't mean adding, electric vehicle plugins to your business. This would be more about companies that are supporting that. So maybe like, auto suppliers that are supplying parts, but that are parts for the ZEV industry as well. So those are certainly things that we looked at. The other thing are housing projects right now. So again, not developers that are building houses, but companies maybe that are manufacturing something or creating technology that will help those developers build homes faster. So those are certainly cross-cutting priorities as well. We also, oh, yes.
I don't think your slides are advancing.
Pardon me?
Your slides are not advancing.
Oh, no. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. That's terrible. Okay, just let me fix that here. Thanks for letting me know, Amber. Oh, well, that would have been helpful, wouldn't it? Okay, so there we are now, cross-cutting investments. So of course, we look at inclusive growth. So that can be women, Indigenous persons, racialized communities, persons with disabilities, official language minority communities as well, and other underrepresented groups. Those are all things that we look for. And again, I mentioned a little bit about the regional coverage as well. If you go on our website and look for our success stories, you've probably recognized we have a lot of projects in urban areas. So we do look for projects that are in rural areas or areas that we have not made a lot of investments in. That's certainly a priority as well. So who is eligible? We're looking for for-profit businesses that are established. So again, we don't fund any startups. Those programs are usually done through the CFDCs and Futurepreneur and that type of activity. So we're looking for at least 3 years of business operations. We need people to provide 2 years of financial statements. And we asked for a minimum of 5 full-time employees in Southern Ontario. It was 10, and we did get it lowered to 5. If you are a company or you're dealing with a company that has less than 5, let's talk, because I think we do have the leverage to make a case in some cases that a smaller community might have a business that has 2 employees, but it's just as important to that local economy. So unfortunately, our eligible applicants do not include sole proprietorships, but we do incorporated businesses, cooperatives, and Indigenous businesses as well. So again, we look at capital costs. We can do machinery and equipment. We can also help with project facilities. However, we cannot fund any type of real estate. So we like to think of it as if you have a piece of equipment that is going into a building, we can help if there needs to be supports added to the floor or, to hold that equipment or any HVAC associated with the equipment. But unfortunately, we can't fund any type of real estate or any additions to the wall or to an existing building. So that's something that we can chat about more if anybody has questions about that. Non-capital costs, we can cover things like labor, providing it's incremental to the project. So not funding current positions, but if it's about the growth or adding that particular machine or a piece of equipment, we can fund that labor. We can do the training around it. We can pay for the expertise. So if you need engineering or consultant reports associated with getting the equipment in or the project started, we can cover that. There's availability of funding for marketing and outreach, training and talent costs, materials and project management as well, as long as it is incremental to the project that you're working on. So again, with our assessment criteria, we look at the expected results of the project. So that would include the job creation. We look at how it aligns with the intake priorities. Again, because it is a very competitive process at 0% interest, we do get a lot of applications. We have the degree to which the project supports new or expanded initiatives for the company. So how is it incremental? And again, the quality of the project and the business plan and the people behind it, which would be similar to Sophie and some of the other programs that have been mentioned. But we do have to look at the risk because obviously when we're dealing with investments from the government, we want to make sure that that money will be paid back. So we do look at that. And something that we've added recently is a well-defined intellectual property strategy. So if it's applicable, some companies who are commercializing new technologies, we want to make sure that they have that strategy in place so that it is protected and hopefully will remain in Canada. We also look at our previous funding relationship with FedDev. So if other programs have been utilized. I know Michelle mentioned the step-up programming, how, the CFP to Sophie, and other programs to FedDev. We certainly look at that, the past history there and how that's worked too. So those are some of the things that are looked at in the assessment. The other thing I wanted to mention too is that FedDev Ontario does operate the Small Business Services Division. That is, I know there was mention about Futurepreneur there as well. Samuel mentioned that, how they have the different business plan outlines. We also have a directory online with that. It also has tax information. It has information about how to do different business plans, how to open a certain business, all kinds of different things. You can search online yourself, or you can actually give them a call and they'll put together a package for you as well. So there are a number of resources. And I think, again, repeating what has been said already today is around, just reach out. We all work very well with each other, and we can make referrals. And where I might not be able to help you with one of our programs, I can usually refer you to somebody that can. So I encourage you to definitely reach out. It never hurts to have a chat. So, and again, I'm open to any questions that anybody might have.
Thank you, Anne Marie, and thank you everyone else who was able to join us today. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them now. Is there any questions?
Yeah, Laura, if you want to ask your question, I see it's a thank you all. If anybody has any questions, you can unmute yourself if you'd like.
I actually had a question for Kim. For Delia, if somebody's in a different region, how do we know who to refer them for that program? Or do we just send them to you?
You can send them to me because we cover all of Canada.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. Actually, a lot of our clients are also Futurepreneur clients.
Nice.
Questions in the chat box or anything?
I don't see any chat questions.
Okay.
I did add my contact information there if anybody was looking for it, though. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Anne Marie.
So I'll make sure to send everyone the slides from today, and which will include all the speakers' contact information. So if you are more comfortable asking a question one-on-one, you'll have that information sent to you. Thank you once again, everyone, for joining us today. We can probably stop recording now.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Amy.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.